and welcome to episode 17 of A Teacher's Journey with Robert Corio Jr. I hope everyone is doing well today. I'm recording this podcast on Thursday, and as you're listening to it on Friday, I hope that everyone is doing well. Hopefully, everyone's having a nice weekend and being able to relax and everything. So, a couple things is I'm going to be talking about a few things where I'm going to discuss just some things that you can control because for the upcoming school year. So I know I was watching some webinars over the week and about some things about going back into school and how we're gonna adjust to all this, and then also how I think technology is going to be a big play in all of this. So that's what I'm going to be talking about today. If you want to contribute to this podcast, there's a link in the description where you can contribute wherever you feel you wherever is providing most of value to you. So I'm going to start off with what stuff that about going back to school for the year. Right now I don't know if we're going to be officially going back, but from what I'm hearing and what I'm reading, some schools are looking to go back when school starts in either August, whenever school starts in their area. And I think it's just stuff that you have to control what you can control, and there's going to be a lot of factors that aren't going to be that aren't going to be in your control of how things are going to be, what the procedures are, what things are going to be happening with kids and everything, and stuff that's going on, and whether you want to go back to school or not. But I think just what I'm controlling right now is just what I can do. Like I'm able to go back. Like I work at a tutoring center, and yesterday I was in tutoring center for with some kids doing lessons with some kids yesterday afternoon. And I said sure. I said I was able to go. I felt comfortable enough that I was able to go inside a building and be able to work with students just like we did beforehand. And the takeaway was I just went in. I had to get my temperature taken before I started. I used hand sanitizer to rub my hands, to wash my hands before working with the kids. I had to clean everything, like books, computers, tables, chairs that either I was using and the students were using before putting them away, using like just a Lysol spray on paper towel, just rubbing the pages that I was using, the front binder and the back cover of it. And I I think I found it to be pretty simple. I mean, I think it was something where I wasn't I had my mask on the entire time, so the staff members and the students, and I felt like it was just I mean, it was a little different, but it felt pretty similar to what I was doing beforehand. And I just think that what you can control is just what you can do what I can do as a person. So I think again, just having a good attitude with the kids and being helpful, being there for them, having again, showing a positive attitude. Like a lot of times, just being friendly, I have a smile on my face, saying welcome, hello, and really just being happy and everything. And I think overall, it was very good. I think it was just one of those things where I was pretty happy with. It felt very normal to me. I mean, there was just, but I just felt like, again, when I think it also, but what I can also think about when going back to school is I'm just going to accept that this going to be a new normal for a while until whatever happens. I mean, with everything when we go like if we go back to school, it's just going to be a new normal. Might be where we have to clean more. Might have to again. I don't know what's going to happen when we go back to school, but I felt that when going to the tutoring center, I think that's just going to be a new normal right now, and that's something I'm embracing. It's just I have to be able to go in, just do what you gotta do. I have work with the kids, clean, and I think just not being too rigid. I mean, I think that's one of the things. Like I wear a mask. I have a mask. Wore during my time in the center all that time. and it felt a little normal. Going back to the center, I felt a little normal. I didn't feel like, I mean, there was some differences again, but I think I just have to make sure that I'm embracing it a lot of times, because it's going to be a new normal right now until we have a fine vaccine, or any type of something like that. And just being able to embrace going into buildings, going like wearing a mask, making sure you have your mask on when you're in a building, where you're going to a restaurant, doctor's office. I mean, just like, making sure you're doing the little extra things that are required, and that's something I'm good with. And again, like I went like this month, I went this month and last month, went to a doctor, went to my eye doctor, went to the dentist, and basically it was just like what it was before, except I just had to wear a mask on, make sure that I called in beforehand, got my temperature taken. I mean, it was just little things. So I'm not as worried about going back. I feel like as long as that the safety requirements are there, and you're doing what you need what you're required to do by state, federal laws, when you're inside during this time, I think I'd be okay. I'm okay with it, and I'm okay with going inside the places. I think just have to make sure that I'm prepared for it. Wash my hands, doing all the things that are required, rather, making sure that everyone is doing what they need to do as well, making sure students are, like, I make sure students were cleaning the pages when they were finished. And I think it's just, and then if they didn't wash their hands, making sure they use hand sanitizer or anything just to wash their hands before they start. So I think again, it's going to be a new normal right now, and I think what a lot of these takeaways is just like making sure that I'm responding, like, how you respond to it, like how you respond to a lot of this stuff, because some people are going to be overwhelmed right now with possibly going back into school, and they might not want to go back because they don't feel that it's safe, and making sure that it's going to be safe and that it's safe for everyone. And I think just making it's just like, how are you going to be responding? I mean, are you going to be in a positive mind frame, and showing kids that it's okay, and everything is all right, and having a positive outlook, and having a positive tone, and having a positive, having positive body language as well, because I think that's what students now will respond to. Like, if you're okay with it, they'll be okay with it, because I think they're also worried about going back to school. I mean, some kids might are going to be like, I'm not sure if I want to go back right now, and then there's some kids are going to say, yeah, I want to go back. But I think to make sure that everyone is feeling, that they're inclusive and everyone's feeling welcome, just gotta do these things that make sure that kids are feeling welcome by just being, having a smiling face, having a positive outlook, being just like in class, just like in a regular classroom, being optimistic. And I think that's what I'm wanting to have, like, just an optimistic outlook. Okay, we have to wear a mask when we're inside. Even now, when we're outside in my state, now I found yesterday that you have to wear a mask if you're outside and you can't socially distance from someone. Which, all right, fine. Hey, guy, if I have to wear a mask, or if I'm outside, if I can't socially distance, okay, I'll do that. But I think I just have to make sure is what can you control is like your outlook. I think having a positive outlook on all of this. I mean, and then just making sure that you pass on that positive outlook out to the students, because again, we don't know what's going to happen going forward. I mean, I don't know if when we're going to go back. I mean, there's plans about going back, but I don't know when that's going to be. I mean, every state, every school, it's just going to be different. So I don't know. I can't give you a time frame. Okay, well, this is when we're going to go back. So but I think what I can control right now and what I can do is just be prepared for the upcoming school year and whatever happens, and just making sure that I'm doing my part on a day-to-day basis to help students, and when they're coming and when they're here, that it's a positive outlook, and that everyone is here to be, everyone is happy, and everyone that there's an engagement, everyone here is just being, everyone feels comfortable being in the classroom, and it starts with me, and that's why I want to make sure I'm saying it. It's just it also starts with me as a teacher. So I think it's just, again, we just have to as me as a teacher, I just have to have a positive outlook and embrace new things. Okay, gotta wear a mask, gotta wash your hands, gotta make sure everything in the room is clean after it's being used. Okay, but I'll do that because I think it's important just to get back to doing things, but just having more safety precautions, and I'm okay with that. All right, where so I was also talking about is technology. Like, how is technology going to be used now going forward during the school year now with everything going on? I think technology is going to be used much more. I think it's just going to be used much more because just with everything going on. Look, I mean, I think someone said like the coronavirus took everything that was going to happen in 5 years and it's happening right now, all this new technology stuff. Okay, Zoom. Like, I mean, before all this happened, how many of you have heard of Zoom? I didn't. I mean, how many of you used Skype or Google Meet? Very few. When I was in the corporate world, I used Skype for a couple like interviews and everything, but that was it. But now there's gonna be more people working from home, more people working on Zoom, more people gonna be doing Google Meet, FaceTime, and all that, and even people that are doing interviews for television are going to be doing them now via Zoom or via any type of video recording. So rather than going to the studio, they can just do it from their home and have a background where they're just going to be talking about them on the Zoom on technology at their home. So I think it's just making sure that, I mean, again, I think technology is going to be more important now, especially with communicating with parents, family members, and that's going to be a bigger thing now because it's just with the world we're living in, we're going to be using our phones more, tablets, the internet. I mean, it's a if it's not already a big thing, it is now. I mean, I think with technology, it's just going to be more like in the school. It's going to be more. It's going to be used more. I think with everything that's going on, just with communication with parents, it's going to be something where I'm going to be. I think where I'm going to be using it more is just on communicating with parents, trying to find apps that work and text messaging platforms that can work. I'm trying to experiment because I feel that this is going to be a new wave of using technology in the classroom, and I think it's important to make sure that I'm doing it on a day-to-day basis. That I'm using more technology and being able to communicate more with other people, and I really enjoy that part. So again, I think that technology is going to be used more because I think with everything going on, just some families aren't going to be sure about when to go back to school, and being able to communicate online is important. I think there's like surveys of parents that they're sending out about how the parents and families feel about going back to school next year. So I think it's one way to for everyone to communicate, for everyone to interact, and I just think with technology, it's just going to expand more. It's just going to be more of a bigger expansion in schools because I think because everything that's going on is just we're becoming now like more technology dependent. I mean, more people are going to be shopping online. I mean, I even go to my food store, my local food store by me, and I see people that work there that are shopping for people that place their orders online. And like Amazon, I mean, I purchased something before I did this until before recording, I bought some things on Amazon. I mean, I think that's going to be the new reality. It's just we're going to be implementing more technology with communicating with parents and also with students. I mean, Google Classroom was a big thing for posting assignments, writing comments, and being able to see students work. So I think just with technology, it's just a big factor, and I feel like that going forward, it's just going to be one of those things where I'm going to need to embrace it because, again, I think it's important not to be too rigid because you gotta be able to be flexible with everything that's going on, and using technology platforms, and it's very helpful. I mean, I used Blooms this year when I was teaching with my students, and I found that to be pretty helpful. And that was something I never heard of before I started. So, and I used it. I felt very comfortable with it, and I feel that it was a great tool to use. So again, I'm just trying. I think where with technology in schools, it's just making sure that everyone is able to access it as well. 'Cause I think that for some families it might be a problem. Like I was watching a webinar this morning, and it's like some family, like a survey that they did, that there was about 10%, 15% of families are having trouble, accessing internet or accessing the web. So I mean, it's just, again, have to use technology, but make sure that everyone also has access to it, and people can get the information that they need from it. So, but I think all these challenges is just something that it's going to help us grow in this area, as in teaching, and making sure to have a good balance of using more technology, but yet having that in-person feel of school, and working with other kids, working with students, and students being able to interact with each other. So I think, again, we just have to be able to be flexible and using technology, just embrace it more. I'm going to be working on doing some things and embracing more technology, and just not just with students, but also with families. All right, just a couple things. Again, I think with everything that's going on, I'm being hopeful that I don't know if schools are going to be opening, but I'm just hopeful that schools are opening up for the upcoming year. Just have to wait and see what happens. So again, I just want to, again, just want to say thank you again, once again, for listening. Hope you have a great day, great weekend. Enjoy your summer. If for those of you that are work or off right now, or some of you are still planning for the upcoming school year. Just hope that just want to say have a good summer, and hope you are enjoying it. And I'll talk to you next week. Take care. Bye bye.